Episode 4 of Trev's Hockey Talk here on Trev TV. I'm Trev. If you're tuning in, it's too sweet. Today I am going to do the initial video I wanted to do yesterday. Instead of, doing the Stanley Cup quiz, which I thought was fun. Today I am going to try my hand at predicting the Stanley Cup Final, which begins tomorrow in Vegas. Either way, it's going to be a great series. It really is. With everybody you have on both teams, it's really hard to call it one way or the other. I think, anyway. I think it's going to boil down to goalies and goals. Whichever goalie stands on their head the most, and whoever can score the goal when it counts. But there are other factors, I'm sure. Through all this, I'm just going to go over some pros, cons that both teams have. Who could be the difference maker, who could be the game saver, who could be the show stealer. And at the end, I'll give my prediction for the Conn Smythe, although I know a couple hockey videos ago I'd said win or lose, Marc-Andre Fleury wins it. I stand by that, but I'll get into that later. Some important numbers to note. Vegas is riding a 12-3 record this postseason. That's a 4-0 sweep in LA. That's a 4-2 win in San Jose. And that's a 4-1 win in Winnipeg. The Caps are rocking a 12-7 record. So right off the bat, the Caps have played 4 more games. I think they've also played more overtimes this postseason than the Golden Knights. Capitals include a 4-2 series win in Columbus, a 4-2 win against Pittsburgh, and a 4-3 win against Tampa. And might I add that Game 7 against Tampa. Thing of beauty. Oh. In my mind, I knew once Ovi scored a buck 2 in, it was over. That was like the dagger in the heart, if you will, to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They were done. Either way, both teams will be chasing their first cup in history. Vegas obviously has no history other than this year. And I'd like to clarify one thing right now. I don't consider Vegas a Cinderella story. Cinderella does not win division championships. Vegas is a success story. A big success story. And at $550 million, whatever, I think it was $500 million to own, operate, and play, they deserve a good success story. A Cinderella story would be like the Kings' first cup run. 8th seeded in the conference, no one gave them a chance, and they beat New Jersey. That was Cinderella. Another Cinderella would be Carolina. I mean, yeah, they had the division win and all that, but nobody thought Carolina was going to win in 06, but they did. What else can I say about this series? You got your star players, obviously. You got your Ovechkins, your Kuznetsovs, your Oshis, your Marchessaults, your Neils, your Carlsons. They've all made their mark in the postseason. Not one of them has fallen off their regular season success. I mean, they're all playing really, really well. Holtby caught fire at the right time. I mean, you can't blame Holtby for Grubauer losing the 2 in Columbus. You can't. If you want to, I mean, that's up to you, but you can't. And Fleury, well, this is not the same Marc-Andre Fleury who shot a puck off Patrick O'Sullivan's chest and lost the gold for Canada in the 2004 juniors. But that was a fun game to watch. Coaching has made a huge difference. Trotz is Trotz. He operates the same system he had in Nashville. And Washington is really, really, really playing to that advantage. Gerard Gallant has been the biggest difference maker for Vegas. Well, he's doing what he's doing, and it's working. I mean, the team bought in. They're all in. You couldn't be surprised if they actually do make a competitive series out of this. Right up to the general managers, George McPhee. who was the guy who drafted Ovechkin, drafted Kuznetsov, drafted Karlsson, drafted Holtby, drafted Schmidt. You know, he was the Caps GM from 97 to 2014, so I think he has a fair idea as to how that system operates, whereas Brian McClellan, who's been the Caps GM since 2014, has built a team really well. I mean, to get Oshie, to re-sign Oshie, and keep him for another 8 years at least. You know, I mean, barring any trade or cap hits or anything like that. Both teams have been built really, really well. So, I mean, there's a sense of familiarity on the Vegas end to know how the Caps operate, how the Caps run, but this is not George McPhee's Capitals team. I mean, sure, he drafted the core of it, but it's not his Capitals. Ovi obviously going to be front and center for any win, loss, mistake, good goal, good game, bad game for the Capitals. For the Knights, you could look in many different directions. You could say it'll be Marchessault that'll take them all the way. You could say it'll be Fleury. You could say it'll be Neal. You could say it'll be Karlsson, but you never know. I mean, there's so many different plot lines that could go that way. But like I said, I think it's going to come down to goalies and goals. If Holtby can play the same games he played for Game 6 and Game 7 against Tampa, Washington shouldn't have a problem. If Fleury can keep playing the way he's playing, Vegas won't have a problem. I don't think it'll be a relatively high-scoring series. I think you'll see a lot of 2-1s, 3-2s. Hard to say if there'll be any overtimes. I'd love it if there was some overtimes. I mean, the Cup doesn't have to be decided in overtime, but, you know, an overtime here, an overtime there, that'll be okay. You know, I mean, like I said, it'll be a close series. It'll be a good series. As for my pick, I'm saying Caps in 6. It won't be easy, especially when you got Vegas's momentum in Vegas. I mean, you could look at the regular season series. Vegas is 2-0 in the regular season against Washington. That's the regular season. Regular season don't mean nothing in the playoffs. But Vegas, in my thoughts, will win at least 2 games. Whether they're in Vegas, whether they're in Washington, who knows? But like I said, Caps in 6. For the Conn Smythe, I know I said win or lose, Marc-Andre Fleury. If they decide to give it to a Caps player, an argument can be made for Kuznetsov, but I don't know if they'll go that way, if they'll go with goaltending and give it to Holtby, or if they'll just stick with the superstar and give it to Ovechkin. Either way, whoever wins the Conn Smythe obviously earned it, deserves it, whatever the case might be. That's my prediction. Now, I know with this video and with my awards predictions video, I will be doing a roundup video after the NHL awards have been handed out, and I'll go over all my predictions. You know, see how well my accuracy is, if it's just as good as my history buff. But we'll go from there. Cross that bridge when we get there. But thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you guys did. Help spread the word. You know, like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to on your way out. So in the meantime and in between time, look out for more videos from the Trev. Later.